A young child gets separated from his parents. They thought he was in the group, but he was not. Panic begins to set in as they call out for him but receive no answer. This is the scene that plays out in the lives of a young Jesus and his earthly parents. And this ushers in a period of silence. Hello, I am Elior. Thank you for joining me on another scripture walk. Luke 2:47 says, "And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers." A 12-year-old boy, astonishing grown men with his wisdom. A moment that should have been the beginning of everything, and then he disappears. For nearly 18 years. Why would the Son of God be revealed like this, only to return to silence? And does that silent period, that hidden time, feel familiar in your own life? In this walk, we're going to explore what Scripture does say, why so much is left unsaid, and what these hidden years reveal that many people miss. The last detailed moment we are given from Jesus' early life comes when he is 12 years old. Luke 2:42-43 says, "And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Jesus tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it." Mary and Joseph begin their journey home, not realizing Jesus is not with them. After searching, they return to Jerusalem. Luke 2:46 says, "And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions." And what they find is remarkable. Luke 2:47 says, "And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers." This wasn't a small moment. This was a glimpse of who he truly was. And yet, when Mary speaks to him, we see something deeper. Luke 2:49 says, "How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my Father's business?" At 12 years old, Jesus already understands his identity. He knows who he is. He knows why he came. And yet, he does not begin his ministry. Instead, he returns home. Luke 2:51 says, "And he went down with them, and came to Nazareth, and was subject unto them." The one who created all things submits himself. The one who would teach multitudes lives quietly in obedience. If you've been walking with me this far, pause here for a moment. Jesus knows who he is. He has already revealed wisdom beyond measure. He has already spoken of his Father's business. Everything points to action. But instead of stepping forward, he steps back into ordinary life. And then we are given one more verse that spans nearly 2 decades. Luke 2:52 says, "And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature, and in favour with God and man." That is it. No miracles recorded, no sermons written, no crowds gathered, just growth, just preparation, just silence. Why? Because God does not rush what he prepares. Hebrews 4:12 says, "For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin." Before the ministry, there was maturity. Before the miracles, there was obedience. Before the public calling, there was private faithfulness. This is something we often overlook. We live in a world that values visibility, recognition, immediate impact. But the life of Jesus shows us something different. There is value in the unseen years. There is purpose in the quiet seasons. There is preparation in the waiting. Jesus did not waste those years. He was growing, learning, working, living among the very people he came to save. He understood their struggles because he lived among them. He experienced life not from a distance, but from within. And when the time came, he would be ready. Because every quiet moment, every unseen year, was leading to something greater. So what does this mean for us? It means that the seasons where nothing seems to be happening may be the seasons where everything is being prepared. The silence is not absence. The waiting is not wasted. God is working, even when we do not see it. And just as there was a time appointed for Jesus to step into his calling, there is a time appointed for everything. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." And when that time comes, everything changes. And maybe the question now is not just about Jesus, but about the quiet seasons in your own life, the moments where nothing seems to be moving, where the purpose is not yet clear. Have you experienced that? I'd like to hear from you in the comments. And if this walk has helped you see those seasons a little differently, consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel, and joining me on the next part of this journey. You can also share this with someone who may be walking through a quiet season right now, because the silence may be about to break. Until then, keep walking.